Hello traders and Market Club members everywhere. Adam Hewson here, coming to you from the digital studios of Market Club, and we have the Greek Swan song going on right now. Well, despite the pullback in most of the major markets, nothing has really changed, and I want to show you, by that I mean our trade triangles right here are 55, indicating a trading range, and right now we're at the lower end of the trading range. It's going to be important to see where the market closes tonight, but certainly every time we've gotten down in this area, the market has bounced back, and this may be a very similar situation, we don't know, but I would not like to see the market close below 17.7, which is about 50 or 60 points away from where we are right now. So let's see how that plays out. But again, I've got to go with our trade triangles. Now trade triangles are saying 55 is a trading range. Both the weekly and the monthly are still positive and indicating the trend is up. Much the same picture in the S&P 500 cash. You can see there we've got a similar situation where we've got these lows here, and we're above that right now. We may see a recovery. Actually, the markets were much lower earlier on during the night, but they've come back, and we still have the 55 score here, and the two important trade triangles, green indicating higher levels. So a trend that is still positive. It hasn't changed around yet. Much the same on the S&P 500 trading range, 55 again. We're getting towards the lower end of the spectrum here. One thing we did point out last week was that we just tipped below the 50 line, which is not a good sign, but however we did the same thing here, and then we continue to go up. So it depends on when we close today. If we close towards the upper levels of the S&P 500, the Dow, and the NASDAQ, then I think we've just seen most of the trouble. Knee-jerk reaction to Greece's indecision, whatever you want to call it, their gamesmanship, brinkmanship, whatever. But if we see the markets close close to the highs today, I think we've probably seen the worst of it, at least initially. So let's see how that plays out. Well, gold has really been a disappointment, as I said, to all of the people who have been bullish, thinking this Greek thing, this tragedy was going to really ignite the markets. But in reality, looking at a 3-month chart, you can see this is today's action. It sort of went a little bit higher and then just suddenly collapsed, and we're down to 1,175. Really not much change from where we closed on Friday. And we've been steadily below the 50 line on the RSI. Not a good sign. You have a minus 85. The only thing suggesting you should be out of the market right now is the fact that the daily is in conflict with the weekly. We use the weekly for trend and the daily for timing. So the timing should be just on the sidelines at the moment in gold. One of the big changes in the market, even though we have a minus 90 in the euro, is the fact that the euro is actually rallied dramatically from the time period we had yesterday on the 28th, which was Sunday. The euro took a big dive when this was announced. Some of the Greek options were announced, but look, it's come right back. Interesting. I think that's very, very interesting. It's telling us a lot about the marketplace. And I would say if we close over 1,116, I think that would be a very, very good sign. I mean, it's very close. It would be actually, I think it would be a buy signal for the euro. But again, all the trade triangles are down. It's 90, the trend is down. Look how close we are to the resistance now. The 50 line should be resistance. We should need to pop over there to get really going. Lastly, let's look at the crude oil chart, which actually gave a signal today, minus 70. The weekly kicked in. You can see that right now. But the concern I would have is really this line here, and that is we are just so close to this area of support where we've been down a couple of times. You can see that's around $57, and I think if that holds, then we'll see probably potentially a little bit of a pop on the upside. But right now, it doesn't look that great because you're below the 50 line. You've got a weekly and the daily that are negative. So it's at the line of least resistance, at least for now, would be lower, which would indicate actually in some ways a better price for the airlines and so forth, for the fuel, and a better price commodity for a lot of industries. So let's see how that plays out. Hey, I'm Adam Hewson. Let's see how this Greek tragedy goes on and on and on. I'm sure there'll be more coming out this week, but we'll just have to wait and be patient. But generally speaking, let's see how the markets shrug or react to this latest news from Greece. Have a great trading day, everyone.